Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Bell, aka Stakuyi, and welcome back to another Dev Q&A for Ara History Untold. It is good to see you all again. It has definitely been a while. If this is your first time with us, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. We will be releasing more content more often leading up to our launch in September. And in today's episode, we've gathered some more exciting questions from you, our wonderful community, and joining us once again is the Director of Production, Satch Puri. Satch, my man, it has been a while. How have you been?
Hey, Steven, I've been great. It's been a while. We all missed you.
You know, when my house flooded back earlier this year, I thought it was all over, but I'm back. First off, let's start with a question from Flying Fairy S2 on YouTube, who writes, can I make different types of ideological utopias, like socially engineer my society to be like this or that? I always want to do that in role-playing, but I feel like the options tend to be very limited.
Right, thank you for your question. Absolutely. So there are different things you can do in our game to customize your nations. There's a lot of player choice around choosing a government type, choosing a religion. You can have religions that are more scientific if you're more of a believer of science. You can make custom religions. You can also choose the different types of governments you have and the benefits you get. Also, our living world represents player choices. So as you build different types of improvements, your world will kind of morph to represent if you're building more rural or more urban cities, and the different quality of life stats you have will also shape how your citizens feel and the way they look.
Like if I wanted to build an agricultural utopia, I could just cover the entire landscape with farms and just explode outwards from there.
Yes, definitely.
Next up, we have Danter9053 on YouTube, who would write, looks amazing, can't wait to play Ara. I have a question about the war system. Are there any war goals in the game? And secondly, I've seen in your previous videos that you can propose alliances with other nations, but are there more specific options, like vassalage as an example?
Thank you for your comment, and thank you for the nice words. Yes, we definitely have different kinds of war goals in our game. We have different reasons you can declare war. You can go to war for a war of annihilation, where you can say, I want to destroy this nation completely from this game. Or you can go on a holy war and say that one of their cities is of my religion, so I could get a claim on it. You can also go to war if a player has been really rude to you or mean to you. You can do a war of retaliation and say, well, they have been trying to declare war on me this whole game. Now I have a strong enough force to go fight back, so I'm going to go do that. We also have war of expansion. If other players and other nations are coming too close to me, I can say, well, I am trying to expand out, and you're in my way, so I'm going to take your stuff. So there's a lot of options we have there. And yes, we do have alliances, but a vassalage system is out of scope for launch, but we definitely do want that for post-launch, and we're actively looking into possibilities of when we can bring that into the game.
So there's going to be further developments for more diplomatic options, essentially.
100%, absolutely.
All right. Our next question then is from GenSoul9150, who asks, if two nations were at war and a territory, city, or village repeatedly changes sides as a result of armed conflict, would it be possible for it to become impoverished and uninhabitable for a long time? Like, I guess if somebody got sacked like 5 different times, the people probably aren't going to have as much food.
Yes, so while you're at war, armies coming through can pillage your improvements and just destroy all the economy you've built. So as you take ownership of new land, you have to take the ownership and rebuild your city now as if it's your own city, because it is. So you constantly have to take care of your own cities and own economy. One of the funny things that I've done in multiplayer is when I know my city is going to be taken over by another player, I actively just demolish some of my key improvements. And when they take over my city, now they see that I have kind of sabotaged them. And that
scorched earth tactics.
Exactly. If I can't have it, no one can.
As is the only rightful way when playing any game and trying to screw someone over. I get that.
Exactly.
Okay, this next question comes to us from a person by the name of Ulimmah, Uilimmah. I hope that I'm saying that right in the first place. Had put in the comments of the last Dev Q&A video, bro, how is the multiplayer going to work? It would be so sick with friends. So how is it actually going to function?
So we have really cool options for multiplayer. Our game is simultaneous turns, so you can all play with all your friends, and all of your friends and you will take your turns at the same time. You won't have to wait around for other players to take their action. You're all going at the same time, and we have very variable turn timers. You can also set it up so you're playing one turn a day, like a game of chess. where you just have it on a rotation. You can hop off the game, join a different game, and have multiple games going on at the same time. It's optimized to be played quickly and to just reduce the turn times and waiting around for other players to go. So we've really tried to streamline the multiplayer experience so players are just in the action all the time instead of waiting around and waiting for people.
That's a really cool feature. Wait, so you're saying that you could have like 10 different games going at the same time, technically speaking, and you just hop from one game to the next while it's like, because if they have one or a set number of turns per day that you have to play?
Yeah, exactly. So you can just say, I'm going to move in my one game, exit that game, join a different game, make my moves there, and just be playing multi-dimensional chess in Ara, I guess.
Is there a limit on that? Because I almost want to test this by seeing how many games I could get involved in.
I think we do have a max limit. I don't know the number yet, but maybe you can test it out and let us know.
I will. I think it's like something I want to try. Okay, so next up we then have a question from Sam7 Algeria, who writes, would you be open to making a UN type of diplomacy in the game? And if we can have arms dealing between countries, that would be very cool.
Yes, absolutely. We have things like trade agreements. You can definitely trade your weapons, items, materials, anything you would like in the game. And we have narrative events that will make you join some sort of league, sort of like the League of Nations. But just like the League of Nations, it's not as effective as UN. Post-launch, we do want to explore that further and see how we can make that more tied into the core gameplay of this game.
When the UN was just a DLC for our real life. Totally get that. Well, next up we then have a question from Quaid0001, who writes, I'm not sure how feasible this is, but I'd like to see an economy that reflects the state of a civilization. For example, if a country is poor, the situation should be apparent. Building maintenance would decline, leading to rundown ghettos and slums. The civilian population would be less motivated during times of economic hardship and might refuse to work, causing a decrease in productivity and an economic cascade that would result in financial collapse. Buildings that are not maintained within the tax budget should crumble and age.
Yes, every improvement, every force you build have maintenance costs in our game. When they're not met, they will cease to function, and it's pretty apparent when they don't function. So you have to make sure your supply lines are safe and are working optimally, or your economy will start dwindling and you will start being less effective and less efficient in running your nation, and you will see that the other nations are just passing by. And we are trying to represent a lot of that in our living world as well. When people are unhappy, you'll be able to see that, and when people are unhealthy, you'll be able to see that. So definitely make sure your maintenance costs are met. And
so if multiple inputs are required for different things here, does that mean then that blockades would be more effective? Because you could, in a time of war, actually blockade someone, I guess. Or if it's multiplayer, diplomatically blockade someone because you convince people to not trade a certain good with someone else and causes them to suffer.
Yes, absolutely. You can go take over a region that has a key resource that's needed to maintain maintenance on a building or a force that can just stop someone from progressing. And that's definitely another way to just get ahead and just win this game.
All right. Well, that brings us to the final comment then that comes from AC Bagel on YouTube, who simply says, this is my most anticipated game for the year.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm really excited for people to get their hands on the game and just see what they think.
And hey, thank you very much for joining us here, Satch. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans before it is that you have to go?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and thank you to all the fans for spending your time on this game. And please, if you haven't yet, join the Insider program, wishlist the game on Steam, and please let us know what you think when the game comes out. And I'm really excited to hear what everyone's thoughts are.
Absolutely. And thank you to all of our fans who have been watching. Subscribe for future content coming to this channel. Follow us on the social media platforms of your choice. And just as Satch said, don't forget to wishlist Ara History Untold on Steam, and you can sign up for that insider program by going to arahistoryuntold.com and filling out the needed info for your chance to play Ara History Untold before launch. Thank you once again, and we will see you all next time.